they look at the small man, but they don't believe that he is All Might. That is until he tells them what has happened, and same with everything, and everything he knows that they know about. Not like All for One or anything like that, but like things he knows about, the public knows about, or a super fan would know about. So basically, he gets them to believe him, and then he tells them about One for All. Now, after that, they hear explosions in the distance, as Izuku knows that there's only one person he knows that can make explosions, and that's Bakugo. Ima feels guilty for letting the sludge villain go when she held on to All Might. So instead of Izuku, she runs quickly after Bakugo, and she sees none of the heroes helping out. So she runs in. She frees Bakugo from the sludge villain with her electrical abilities. Afterwards, All Might comes up to her and says that she should inherit his power, and she accepts. Now I'm rushing this a bit, but I don't really want to focus it around Ima a bit. And so while they were talking, Izuku had just teleported nearby to where he thought she was, and he overheard. And as he was talking, he accidentally walked into where they were, and they stared at him, knowing that he had basically heard everything, as he stared back at both of them, as he just started laughing and patted Ima on the back for climbing new heights to get more power, and wanting her to have get more powerful, because she was the most determined of all of them to be a hero. So basically, All Might let Izuku train with them at the beach for cleanup, and they would also train with their parents as well. So basically, after 6 months, both of them had cleaned the beach. All Might let Ima eat hair, got quirk, and now they practice with One for All, as well as with the new adaptations to quirk. With Battery, she can sometimes hold more power outside of her, like a tiny barrier around her body. Anybody touches her gets electric shocked. And there's another power she now possesses called Overload, where if she stores up enough electricity for 2 minutes, she can turn herself into electricity. Yeah, so she's pretty powered now. By the end of the 4 months, she is able to control 15% of One for All full cowling. Now comes the day of UA. So here comes the day for the UA entrance exam. Ima and Itsura have already got recommendations, so they go to the recommendation place, while Izuku does the tests and everything, and then comes the hero test. Ida this time doesn't really point out Izuku, so there's no point going into that bit. And he doesn't trip over as well, so he doesn't really meet Ochaka or Araka. He's more cautious and calm and well-minded and well-mannered as people stare at him, because they know that he's related to the number 3 hero. Yes, it's changed now. Endeavor took her over again, and yeah. So basically, that's it for now. And so basically, he goes in, and when the doors open, Izuku instantly runs. His parents both told him that would happen. And so while Izuku was running in, everybody else was laughing at him, basically because they thought he would get disqualified immediately and not get in. But that's when they heard Present Mike say that there's no time for waiting around, as everybody would start to run in. Now, Izuku would jump into the fray of the monstrous robots, as he would quickly teleport behind and sometimes detach his arms and legs and create and kill and throw his arms and make blades out of his body and throw them at robots and then reattach them to his body. One time he turned both of his arms to blades. He turned both of his legs into a position where it was easier for like a more springy legs that could hold more weight, and so it was easier for him to spring and bounce. And yeah, and he had claws on his legs, so on his feet, so he could climb up more easily and stuff. And he would go around killing monstrous robots. The robots. Now, Izuku would have gotten up to 70 points, and then the 0-pointer would come in. Izuku thought that it would be pointless to fight it, because one, it would take up too much of his time, and two, there were better robots out there to come up with more points, like the 3-pointers, which he was targeting for. But then he heard a scream. A girl was stuck in rubble as a gigantic foot was about to squash her. Izuku teleported to save her and teleported out as the foot crushed the rubble. The 0-pointer was heading straight towards both of them. Izuku knew the only way for it to be easier without him following to get her to the infirmary was to kill the 0-pointer. So that's what he did. He morphed let's just say, he took a big chunk of his stomach and morphed them into like leathery like wings and turned both of his arms into blades as he jumped into the air and sliced the 0-pointer's head straight off, because he was pretty powerful, because the bones in his fingers, he made them as like an exoskeleton for the blades, so that would be a lot harder. Yeah, so he took out the 0-pointer. Now, the exam would end there, but Izuku didn't really think that he wouldn't get in because he got a lot of points. And so after 2 weeks, he got his letter. All Might appeared and said, "Young Izuku Midoriya, you have successfully made it into UA." Izuku obviously thought he would with such the tremendous amount of points he scored, but he still wanted to see how much he scored. He said 70 villain points. Now, All Might said that would be enough to get you as the top third student, but there was an extra part in this exam. You can get points for saving people. As you so tremendously saved that girl from being crushed to death, you get an extra 60 points. Now he would end up having 130 points. Now he would break, I'm pretty sure that's because of 130 points, he's broken All Might's record or something like that. And so he's made it into UA along with his brothers and sisters. So yeah, I'm going to leave it off here. This was short. It's basically part 1.5 of What If Deku Had a Body Stitching Quirk. See you next time.